The Home Affairs Department processed 179 foreign nationals last week. 149 of those were declared undesirable. They're blacklisted and barred from entering the country for a period of at least 5 years. The department has authenticated the documents of hundreds of foreign nationals who were housed at places of safety in Kureleni. Some of them have been sent home. The department's Acting Director General Thulani Mavuso joins me now. Very good morning to you, Thulani Mavuso. Can you update us on the situation, please?
Well, good morning and good morning to the viewers. I must indicate that since the challenges that the country has been facing, we have been obviously in consultation with different embassies to try and assist the citizens who want to obviously repatriate and leave the Republic of South Africa for various reasons. I must indicate that most of the people that actually want to leave the Republic, they've been residing in the country illegally. And on a regular basis, we work with these embassies, even if when people are taken to Lindela, they need to work with us to identify their citizens so that we can be able to send them back as either deportation or voluntary repatriation. So in this instance, it's not just a new thing as if, out of the wake of the violence that occurred, but it's an ongoing process that we do as a Department of Home Affairs as part of our deportation program. This year we've already deported more than 10,000 people that have been illegally in the country. Now, in the recent wake of violence, obviously we have had to work with those embassies to identify those people. So they have been leaving. Last week there was a flight that left at the Ora Tambo to Nigeria. Again, there we could not just willy-nilly allow everybody who wants to exit, because amongst the people who wanted to leave, we have people who are also trying to evade justice, who either are supposed to be appearing in courts for various reasons. So we've got to look at the number of the types of people who are leaving the Republic. But also we have been urging the embassies and the ambassadors who are here to say, let's ensure that their citizens who are in the Republic of South Africa, they adhere to our laws, they actually are legal in the country. So that is something that we need to collaboratively work with them in that regard. So there's been quite a number of people.
Jumping in here, 10,000 people that you've dealt with or kicked out of the country. I mean, clearly we've got a big problem when it comes to illegal migrants here. How are we going to resolve this?
Look, illegal migration is a global phenomenon. I mean, there was a study recently released by the United Nations and the World Bank that, illegal migration accounts for over 50 million people globally. But I think in South Africa, one of the most important things that we need to do is to ensure that obviously we secure our borders. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we're able to process those that are desirable to come into the country. We do that on a regular basis. I mean, last year alone, we issued over 500,000 visas for people who are coming to South Africa, either for holiday and short stay or for those who apply for permanent residence. There's various categories of those. So we do issue those particular documents. The reality is that from people that are coming through our neighboring countries and those who come on a visitor's visa for holiday, we have a challenge of people who then overstay and then they become illegal in the country. Obviously, we need then to look for those people and be able to deport them because they have overstayed the period that has been assigned to them. I must indicate that the move to the south has been quite huge since 2008, economic downturn. And that has also led to a situation where people are seeking, refuge in South Africa just for economic reasons. Unfortunately, the UNHCR has not declared famine as one of the categories that we can consider when we adjudicate a case of someone who's seeking asylum in the country, because we look at people who are being persecuted for religious reasons, for sexual orientation, or where there's war, where they're coming from. But if you look at in the main, the 95% of all cases that we receive for asylum actually are declared as invalid. So we only approve about 5%. Last year we had 18,000 people seeking asylum in 2018, and we only gave 1,594 the refugee status in the country. So you realize that in terms of those numbers, that we are dealing with a different phenomenon here that has got to do with economic migration rather than the issue of people seeking protection for reasons that they are persecuted.
And very briefly, if you will, I guess this helps you understand some of the anger vented by South Africans. Would your work be helped by better intelligence services? I mean, what's the relationship with them?
Well, we do work close with the intelligence services, but I must just indicate that obviously there's been a huge media-sponsored labeling of the recent challenges as xenophobic. Jen, you'll realize, Jane, that South Africa is also a country of migrants. There's more Botswana in South Africa than in Botswana. There's more Basotho in South Africa than in Lesotho. Actually, outside India, South Africa is the only country with a high concentration of Indians. There's Greek South Africans, Jewish South Africans. So you do understand that we are a country that is made up of migrants. So therefore, it is unheard of that we can therefore be labeled as a country that is xenophobic. What we need to deal with is that every person who's in the country must be, every person who must be in the country must be legal. Because if you look at the dictionary definition of xenophobic, is the hatred against a person of a particular origin. But it's not the case. Here we're dealing with economic issues, we're dealing with illegality, and as a country we need to ensure that we enforce the adherence to our laws and be able to ensure that we live in peace. So if we want to create a peaceful nation, I think we need to discard this issue and the narrative around xenophobic and look at the source of the problems, because we don't hate people that come from other countries. That's why I'm saying there's different categories of people. There's Chinese South Africans, by the way. So you have to understand that context. There's Nigerian South Africans who have been naturalized. Last year, we naturalized over 1,000 foreign nationals to become citizens in this country. So as government, we are taking into consideration that we have to apply those laws. And there are people who have been living with people of different origins since we were children. We lived with Malawans who were coming and working in the mines and so forth.
All right, Thulani Mavuso, very good to talk to you. Thank you.